Hey guys, welcome to the channel Earn While We Sleep, and it is February 12th, 2024, and I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about bodybuilding and just kind of the way the body acts. You know, bodybuilding's good. Everybody wants to get big, everybody wants to have like big round shoulders, and bodybuilding is definitely a huge skill because it really is what it is, right? Like working out, you don't just go work out. Like just like anything in life, you have to train it. And bodybuilding, even if you have the form, you still need to actually work, like actually know exactly, how much weight to put on, when to put it on, drop sets, supersets, all these different things, they really kind of do add up. And what people don't realize is that it's not just about bodybuilding, even though the bodybuilders will tell you that, right? Because that you get their body. But what they don't tell you is that, calisthenics is massively important too, especially for raw strength. So when you see those huge bodybuilders, put it like this, it'll make you feel better if you're not a huge guy. Most of those bodybuilders are getting big for a reason. It's because they want to look scary. They want to look big. And it's because they're not as strong as they actually seem. And that's just the truth, like they're strong in terms of like, I can pick up this rock. But if you tell them to squeeze something, like actually squeeze it, a lot of them don't really have good grip strength. They don't have really good forearm strength. Some do, but a lot don't, like they don't have raw strength, and when you do calisthenics, you get raw strength. Reason being is because you get to work out all those little tiny tendons in your body, all those little tiny tendons in your forearms, all those little tiny tendons in your fingers. Those are real muscles and they need to be activated. Put it like this, like for example, I challenge everyone here just to do a handstand against a wall, just against a wall. Very easy, right? You just stand on your hands and go against a wall, put your feet against the wall so you're not falling over. See how it feels. Once you're up there, try and go down for one rep and push yourself back up. Like just lower, like bend your elbows, go down to the ground, looking forward, and go back up. I challenge any one of you to try and do 5 or 10. If you haven't done it before, you are very, very weak. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? But it's something that we need to train. You say, well, why would I need to train for that? That's weird. Well, there's lots of different reasons. But one of them that people don't really think about is just the clarity of having fresh blood into your head. People don't even realize that, right? Like if you think about it, when was the last time you've actually had fresh blood into your head? It sounds like it's a weird question, but essentially what it means is when was the last time you were upside down? Because when you're upside down, the body starts changing, right? You get new blood that will rush into your head. That's why you get a head rush. So if you stand on your head or stand upside down for, I don't know, call it 30 seconds, when you come back down and stand up straight, you're gonna have a head rush. And it's gonna feel weird. But what that is that's fresh blood going into your head. And what that actually does for you is it actually increases your coordination. Your coordination, because think about it, it's fresh blood into your head, fresh blood into your brain. It's good for thinking. It's good for almost everything, right? And not only that, but think about the gymnast, for example, right? Because calisthenics, a lot of it's work, is doing push-ups, but a lot of it's working on the bar, things like that, handstand push-ups, all sorts of different things. Those guys are huge, huge, gladiators. Like, it's to the point where you start thinking that these guys are taking steroids themselves, right? But they're not. They're not. They just work on the bars, doing flips, pull-ups, and even by pulling themselves up, just normally, just in a, just pulling themselves up normally, that's working a ton of biceps. When you do pull-ups on bars, doesn't matter whether it's reverse grip, wide grip, that is working your bicep. Of course, it's working your lats and your back, but it is working your biceps as well as your forearms. So when you see these guys huge, there's a reason. There is a reason. And, you know, if we want to go up and do, okay, yeah, I'm doing 50 pull-ups a day. I mean, okay, that's good. But, I mean, let's face it, like, it could be better. It could be better. Like, these guys are doing a lot. So you could get big just off of a bar, but it takes like a lot of repetitions. But the thing is, it's worth it because you get those tiny little muscles, those little tendons. And that's something that these bodybuilders aren't going to get. And keep in mind as well, this is like true raw muscle. You know, bodybuilding, a lot of it's like, you know, supplementation. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you don't take supplements if you're going to do calisthenics, because you should. But, you know, a lot of bodybuilders is like, you know, as soon as they stop taking their supplements, and then it's like all of a sudden, like, you know, they just deflate, right? When you actually do like proper calisthenics, it stays longer, right? It's raw strength. It's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Those little tiny tendons, yeah, well, they're still strong like fucking a year later, right? So, but, you know, all I'm trying to say, I guess, is that we should be diverse. If you're bodybuilding, that's great, but we should also be doing calisthenics, and vice versa. If you're doing calisthenics, that's great too, but I think it's good to do some bodybuilding in there as well, because why not? It's good for everything. You'll get bigger. I mean, me personally, as good as calisthenics is, I do like to have hit the muscles, you know, very really targeted muscles, right? I love just kind of jumping on that shoulder press and just purely targeting my shoulders. Even though I know there's all sorts of ways to target it doing calisthenics, sometimes I just want to sit in a chair and just hit that shoulder. You know, I just feel that pump a lot more. But, you know, that's why calisthenics is so much harder, because you're working your whole body all the time. I mean, I'll leave it like this. Back in the day when we had the gladiators in the Roman days, if you look at all the sculptures that are out there, those are all from calisthenics. The Hercules sculptures are real sculptures. They're not just sculpting someone that they think was big and saw it in a magazine. There was no magazines. There was nothing there. The only thing that they could go off of was real live people. I'm sure everybody's seen it. People will just model and stand there in a specific position and just, you know, hit a pose, and you gotta hold that as long as possible. And people would sculpt it. They would sculpt it and come back every day after day after day and sculpt it. And they look very, very realistic. And that is just from doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of squats, thousands of pull-ups, push-ups, you name it, all sorts of different exercises that probably we're not even familiar with to this day, because they got some amazing results, but it's all done naturally. That's all I got for today, folks.